What are some of the top 36 statistics that you need to know about Second Amendment use of force, concealed carry, and self-defense? Guys, let's get into it. Number one, 1.67 million defensive gun uses per year. That's according to the 2021 National Firearms Survey estimates that guns are used defensively by firearm owners in approximately 1.67 million incidents annually in the United States. Number two, 31.1% of gun owners have used a firearm for self-defense. That does not mean that they fired a shot. It just means that they had to display it, something like that, for self-defense. Number three, 81.9% of defensive gun incidents involve no shots fired. As an ex-state prosecutor, criminal defense attorney who routinely represents people in self-defense cases, I can tell you that definitely jives. Number four, 65.9% of defensive incidents involve handguns. Handguns are by far the most common firearm used for self-defense, per the 2021 National Firearms Survey. Number five, 25% of defensive gun uses occur inside the home. That's approximately 1 in 4 or 1/4 for you who are mathematically challenged. Number six, 53.4% of defensive gun uses occur on the owner's property. Nearly half of defensive incidents take place outside the home, but on the owner's property. Number seven, 9.2% of defensive gun uses occur in public. About 1 in 10 defensive gun uses happens in public settings. Number eight, 3.2% of defensive gun uses occur at work. Number nine, 56% of gun owners carry handguns for self-defense. That's a little over half for the mathematically challenged. Number 10, 34.9% of gun owners faced restrictive carry laws. So that's about 1/3 of gun owners wanted to carry a handgun for self-defense, but for one reason or another were prohibited by local laws or rules. Number 11, 20.7 million gun owners carry concealed. That's the 2021 National Firearms Survey that estimates 26.3% of gun owners, or about 20.7 million. That number could really go up or down depending upon how you want to look at those numbers. Carry a handgun, typically in public, concealed carry. Number 12, 21.7 million Americans hold concealed carry permits. In 2023, approximately 21.7 million. 2023, 21.7 million. Number 13, that equates to approximately 8.4% of all U.S. adults hold permits as of 2023. Number 14, 29 states allow constitutional carry. As of October 2024, 29 states have constitutional carry laws, therefore allowing permitless carry for those not prohibited from possessing firearms. Check your local listings. Number 15, 51% of active shooter incidents are stopped by armed citizens. That's right. Between 2014 and 2021, 104 out of 204 active shooter incidents in areas allowing carry were stopped by legally armed Americans. Number 16, 60% of active shooter incidents are stopped in non-gun-free zones. When excluding gun-free zones, approximately 60% of active shooter attacks in 2021 were stopped by citizens with carry permits. Number 17, 500,000 to 3 million defensive gun uses annually. Yeah, I realize I threw out the 1.6 million at the top of this, but this is so important and I didn't want to do it back to back. Number 17 is, according to a 2013 Center for Disease Control study ordered by then President Barack Obama, there was a wide net cast of between 500,000 to 3 million defensive gun uses annually in the United States. That 1.6 million number starting to look kind of mid-ish, right? If you thought that was high before. Number 18, 31% of self-defense incidents deterred by verbal warning. So in 31% of defensive gun use cases, simply informing the criminal of the firearm was enough to prevent the continuance of the crime. Number 19, 80% of self-defense incidents occur at home or on property. So if we revisit some of those statistics, if we combine them, nearly 80% of defensive gun uses happen at the owner's home or on their property, per a recent survey. All right, guys, we're trying something different. What do you think of our quick hits video? At the end, I'll be sure to give you the citations for where I'm pulling this from. It's in the description box. Hit that like, share this video around. Don't forget to stick around to be rewarded with our ever popular quote of the day. And as always, I look forward to checking out your comments. Post your top statistic that you thought was interesting. And also, What should have been number 37? What should have been something really interesting that I've not included here? I did not include some of my favorite defensive use of force statistics because if you were a viewer of this channel, you've heard it plenty of times. So be sure to drop some of your favorite statistics down in the comment field below. I'll be sure to check that out. Now back to the video. Number 20, 57% of felons fear armed citizens more than the police. Number 21, 32% of United States adults own a gun. The 2021 National Firearms Survey estimates that 32% of gun ownership rate is where we are now at in the United States. And I'm going to tell you that I've seen more recent things that have updated that to a higher percentage. But it's also consistent with both Gallup and Pew Research Center data. Number 22, 415 million firearms are owned in the United States. That's right, Americans own approximately 415 firearms, including 171 million handguns, 146 million rifles, and 98 million shotguns. Guys, we are so close to 100 million shotguns. Let's get there. 23, 30% of gun owners have owned an AR-15. About 30% of respondents in the 2021 National Firearms Survey reported that they owned an AR-15 or a similar rifle. 30%, not a fringe thing. 24, 48% of gun owners have owned so-called high-capacity magazines or normal capacity magazines. That's nearly half of gun owners have owned magazines holding more than 10 rounds, according to that 2021 study. This is one statistic that, bluntly, I just don't believe, because unless the only types of firearms you own are hunting shotguns, a bolt-action rifle, or a revolver, or I guess you also live in California and a lot of prohibited states. That's probably the reason why this one is there, is because if you live in a state that does cap these capacities, that obviously artificially manipulates these numbers. But otherwise, it's almost impossible to not fit this. Number 25, 72% of gun owners cite protection as a major reason for owning firearms. That's according to a 2023 Pew Research survey, which found that 72% of gun owners cite personal protection as the primary reason for ownership. 26, 50% increase in protection-driven ownership. That's since 2013, 50% more Americans report owning a firearm for personal protection compared to a decade ago. Number 27, about 45% of Republicans and right-leaning independents report personally owning a firearm. That's compared to approximately 20% of Democrats per a 2023 Pew survey. I'll just indicate right now that I have seen other studies that push these numbers up. Number 28, 63.5% of active shooter incidents are stopped by armed citizens in 2022 alone. Yes, that's right. We're coming back to active shooter incidents. The Crime Prevention Research Center reported that 63.5% of active shooter incidents in 2022 were stopped by armed citizens. Number 29, 25.3 million Americans have used a gun in self-defense. That's where we got that 31% number before. That's because if you do the math on that, that's about 25.3 million Americans. Think about that. Number 30, 50 million defensive incidents are involving firearms. The 2021 National Firearms Survey extrapolates that gun owners have been involved in approximately 50 million defensive gun uses. Number 31, 10 million adults discharge a firearm for self-defense. So the data referenced by the Surgeon General suggests that 10 million Americans or more have discharged a firearm for self-defense at some point in their lives. Number 32, 74 million purchased firearms for self-defense. Approximately 29% of American adults, that's 74 million, have purchased a firearm for self-defense. Number 33, 94% of mass shootings occur in gun-free zones. The Crime Prevention Research Center found that 94% of mass public shootings since 1950 occurred in gun-free zones where armed citizens could not intervene. I'll just add to it that this particular number was fact-checked by a left-leaning anti-gun major news publication who said, no. It's actually, I forget if it was 86% or 88%. Right. Number 34, 89.7% of gun owners do receive some sort of training. A 2021 study found that 89.7% of gun owners have received some form of firearm training, including a formal safety course, 72.4%, or some sort of self-defense course, 42.8%. Number 35, 95.9% of gun owners take safety precautions. Most owners use safety measures, whether that's some sort of gun safe at 62.1%, gun locks at 39.3%, or storing ammunition separately at 50.3%. Number 36, last but not least, homicide rates have halved with increased firearm ownership. The U.S. homicide rate dropped from 10.2 people per 100,000 in 1980 to 4.56 people per 100,000 in 2024. Meanwhile, during the same time frame, firearm ownership tripled. Now, if you're wondering where the citations are for these, this comes from a myriad of firearm research papers. I'm going to try to get those posted up in the description box down below, so be sure to check that out if you are curious. It's going to be a lot of PDFs, heads up. Be sure to click like, and of course, if you made it this far, congratulations, you're going to get rewarded with our quote of the day. This one comes from a reasonably obscure person that a lot of you don't know, but if you did something really productive yet tragic with your life like me, and you double major in theology and medieval European history, you know him. That's right. I'm talking to like the one of you out there. And that's Erasmus, who once said, quote, "Give light and the darkness will disappear of itself." Pro tip. He's speaking allegorically there. Give knowledge and ignorance will disappear. Hopefully some of that will happen here. Share this video around. I appreciate you viewing. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. If you enjoyed this one, please feel free to check out some of our other great content, and we'll see you in the next one.